It's me, THANKYOU. For today's vlog is all about volleyball. Makatutulong kaya ang paglalaro ng volleyball sa panahon ng pandemic? Paano? Ang volleyball ay isang uri ng sport kung saan kapag nilaro mo ito ay para ka nag-exercise. Dahil sa larong ito ay gagalaw ang iyong buong katawan. Maaari kaya makapaglaro ng volleyball kahit naka-quarantine o nasa bahay lamang tayo? Yes po, pwede po tayo maglaro ng volleyball kahit nasa bahay lang tayo. Lalo na kung kayo ay may mga malalaking area sa inyong mga tahanan, like garahe or backyard. At isa pang bagay ang maganda sa paglalaro ng volleyball sa ating mga tahanan. Siyempre masaya na habang naglalaro tayo at nag-exercise, makakasama natin ang ating mga pamilya. Hindi man makapag-banding sa labas or makapag-mall, makapag-banding naman tayo in a healthy way, di ba po? At dahil nasa bahay nga po tayo, may iba sa atin na hindi alam ang volleyball or pamilyar sa pangalan ng volleyball pero hindi nila alam kung paano ito laruin, lalo na minsan ng ating mga nanay at tatay. Kaya pag-usapan natin ang volleyball bago tayo maglaro sa ating mga tahanan. Like I said earlier, ang volleyball ay parang exercise na kapag mali ang paggalaw, pwede kang mapilay or manakit ang mga katawan mo. Kaya, let's talk about it. Do you love sports? And do you want to know more about the history and facts about it? Well, let me help you with that. Our topic for today is one of the most popular sport in the world, which is volleyball. Volleyball is a game played by two teams, usually of 6 players on a side. The player used their hand to bat a ball back and forth over a high net. The volleyball is invented in 1895 and it was originally called as mintonet. The one who invented the sport is the American man William G. Morgan. He started at the Springfield College in Massachusetts. He is also friends with the man who invented basketball, which is Dr. James Naismith. And did you know that these two sports only have a fire to each other? The game was designed to a combination of basketball, baseball, tennis, and handball. The first volleyball net borrowed from tennis was only 6 feet and 6 inches tall. The offensive style of setting and spiking was first demonstrated in the Philippines in 1916. Over the years that followed, it became clear that standard rules were needed for tournament play. The United States Volleyball Association or USBVA was formed in 1928. The first Beach Volleyball Association appeared in California on the year 1965. Professional players under the OS prizes of the AVP of the American Volleyball Professionals in 1983. During the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, American man and woman took gold and silver medals in indoor volleyball competitions. 4 years later, at the Olympics in Korea, the men once again won a gold medal. Starting in 1966, two-man beach volleyball was officially introduced to the Olympics in 1900s. A special ball was designed for the sports. In 1916, in the Philippines, an offensive style of a passing of the ball in high trajectory to be struck by another player were introduced. The game was changed from 21 to 15 points in 1917. In 1920, 3 hits per sides and back row attack rules were instituted. In 1922, the first YMCA National Championship were held in Brooklyn, New York. 27 teams from 11 states were represented. In 1928, it became clear that tournaments and rules were needed. So the United States Volleyball Association, or USBBA, now USA Volleyball, was fought. The first US Open was staged of a first open to non-YACM squad. 1930, the first woman beach game was played. 1934, national volleyball referees were approved and recognized. In 1937, at the AAU convention in Boston, action was taken to recognize the U.S. Volleyball Association as the official national governing body in U.S. In 1947, the Federation Internationale de Volleyball, or FIVB, was founded. 1948, the first two-man beach tournament was held. In 1949, the initial World Championship were held in Prague, Czechoslovakia. 1964, volleyball was introduced to the Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. 1965, the California Beach Volleyball Association, or CVBA, was formed. 1974, the World Championship in Mexico were telecast in Japan. In 1975, the U.S. national women's team began a year-round training regime in Pasadena, Texas, moved to the Colorado Spring in 1979, Coto de Casa in Foundation Valley, California in 1980, and San Diego, California in 1985. 1977, the U.S. national men's team began a year-round training regime in Dayton, Ohio, moved to San Diego, California in 1981. 1983, the Association of Volleyball Professional, or AVP, was formed. 1984, the U.S. won their first medals at the Olympics in Los Angeles. The men won the gold and the women won the silver medals. 1986, the Men's Professional Volleyball Association, or WPVA, was formed. 1988, the U.S. men repeated the gold in the Olympics in Korea. In 1990, the world leg was created. 1995, this part of volleyball was 100 years old. 1996, the two-person beach volleyball became an Olympic sport. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that there is 800 million volleyball players around the world? 46 million of them is in the US. And that's it, presenting the history of volleyball. Talk about facility and equipment. The ball is a spherical shape of flexible leather or synthetic leather with a water inside, made up of rubber or similar materials. Its circumference is 65 to 67 cm and weight about 260 to 280 grams. Net and post. The post is placed vertically in the center line where the net is placed and tied in the post. The height of the net on its top is 2.4 degrees for men and 2.24 meters for women. Playing court. The playing area includes the playing court and the free zone. It should be rectangular and symmetrical. A playing court is a rectangular shape of 18 by 9 meters surrounded by the free zone of at least 3 meters wide center line. Divided the playing court into two equal courts of 9 by 9 meters each. Attack line, it is a frag partition of each court, measuring 3 meters from center line until the next line of court. It's also called as the front zone. Back zone, it is the second partition of playing court, measuring 6 meters between the front zone and the service line. Service zone, it is a 9 meters wide area behind each line. Basic skills. the following basic skills used in volleyball. Serve. It is the act of putting the ball in play by hitting on the ball in underhand or overhand technique toward the opponent court side. These are type of service. Underhand serve. It is the act of serving the ball by hitting it below the waist level, instead of tossing it up and striking over the head level. Overhead serve. It is the act of serving the ball by tossing it overhead and striking it above the head level. Pass. It is an attempt to proper handle the opponent's serve or attack it. It is also called reception. Dig. It is the ability of stopping the ball from touching the court ground after an attack or strike. Block. The process of preventing the opponent's attempt to strike or attack. Set. The act to putting the ball into a position that attacker can strike the ball hard toward the opponent's court. Attack. The act of striking the ball hard overhead just above the net. This is a common way of getting a score in the game. And watch the video about the basic rules of volleyball.
In this video, you will learn the basic volleyball rules. Volleyball is played on a rectangular field of 18 by 9 meters, surrounded by an unobstructed area. It is divided in two by a net and has a front zone of 3 meters width on each side of the net. The height of the net is 2.43 meters for men and 2.24 meters for women. Two antennae, or rods, are attached to the net above the sidelines. The rods pass 80 centimeters vertically up from the sidelines and mark the boundaries for where the ball can be played. To play, 2 teams of 6 players rally the ball to each other over the net, between the rods. The ball can touch the net during its passage. The teams play 3 sets against one another, up to 25 points. In the case of a 5th set, it is played up to 15 points. A winning team needs at least 2 clear points to win a set. A team scores a point in 2 instances: when the ball hits the ground on the opponent's side of the court, or when a team is unable to return the ball or commits a foul. To learn more, watch our video on the basic fouls. Each game begins with a serve hit with the hand. The team which receives the ball is entitled to 3 touches with the ball before sending it back. All parts of the body can be used. A single player does not have the right to touch the ball twice in a row. If the team which served wins the point, they keep the same server. If the receiving team wins the point, it wins the serve, and its players rotate clockwise. To learn more, watch our video titled Knowing the Zones, Positions and Roles of Players. You're now familiar with the basic rules of volleyball. Over to you.
There you have it, guys. The facility, equipment, basic skills, and basic rules in the game volleyball. I hope you learned something for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, for your time and efforts. See you on my next vlog. At bago ang lahat, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Have a good day, everyone. Bye!